Hi and welcome to Little Bits Honeybees YouTube channel. I'm Skinny Bee Man. This is the beginner's weekly series, week 7. It's May 23rd. The bees have been in here 6 weeks. We're getting ready. We're starting on the 7th week. So they've had 3 weeks of hatch since the queen's been in there. We're going to get in here today and see if they're ready for another box. I think it's a week early, but we'll look, see where they're at. We treated with oxalic acid last week. We treat 3 weeks in a row if you're using oxalic acid in the spring, so we'll give them another treatment of oxalic acid. Excuse me. We'll open them up and see what we got. Well, just preliminary, they looking real good. Let's see what kind of camera angle I got here. Let me change this a little bit. There. You know, last week we gave them a bunch of starter strips. We're going to see how they've drawed on them. About half drawed that starter strip out, all full of honey. Nothing particular about that. But that should be a honey frame on the outside. This time of year, what we got to start worrying about is honeybound. There's so much nectar coming in now. They keep it filled up with honey, and the queen doesn't have a place to lay. This frame's all honey too. As you're working, you get that first frame out, get you some room, and you just work each frame as you go, crossways. Here's another starter strip. They've got about half drawed out. I'll look and see if the queen's on this frame. I don't know if I can get it to see, but this frame's all laid up with larvae, eggs and larvae. Let's see what I can do here. I can't tell if you're seeing anything or not, but they're all laid up, framed, or eggs and larvae. We know the answer. They're not ready for another box this week. They need another week of hatch. If you put another box on them too quick, it slows them down. Now we're into full frame, nothing but cat brood. We'll see how many frames she's got a cat brood. You're looking for hive beetles. Hopefully we don't see none. If I see any, I'll try to show them on the screen so you know what a hive beetle looks like. And people say, oh, I don't see any mites on my bees. When you see mites on the bees, they've got them so bad that you probably can't save them. Another full frame of nothing but all eggs, a starter strip, over 3/4 drawed out. Perfect worker cells, not hardly any drone comb. That means they're happy with the queen. They've got plenty of room. This frame here, all cat brood. later in the season, you can see, maybe you can see right here, where these is hatched out in here, they put nectar back in here. And they'll get the queen honey bound, and they'll want to swarm on you. The queen's always got to have a place to lay. This box still got plenty of room. We're in good shape. By next week, they'll have all the combs drawn out. Yeah, bees prepare about 40 days before they're thinking about swarming. As you can see, right in this area, right here, getting some drone comb. They're thinking about making sure they got drones if they're ready to swarm. But they're not even close to that yet. But they're thinking, they're preparing. We're looking for queen cells. We're not got any queen cells. We know the queen's in there. We've seen eggs. She's laying. For whatever reason, this week I didn't see the queen. Ain't no big deal. Another frame of full cap brood. So they got 4 frames of cap brood in there. By next week, this hive will be ready for another box. We're going to show some tricks on the other box. We're going to do a few things because you guys won't have drawed comb for your honey supers or anything. Now, when you put the frames back in, you pry the frames over tight, put your finger on one side, get them tight. And then space them right in the center, get this even space on both sides. Because if you don't keep these frames tight, they'll keep getting a little wider and a little wider in time to end the season. These frames won't fit in this box. You got to keep them tight. That's a biggie. It's getting to the point now that you really got to start tightening them up. They're looking good. Just keep. They don't need pollen patty no more. This hive's established. They got plenty of worker force bringing in pollen. You put the dry pollen out to make sure they got that. But keep the feed on them. Sugar water. Keep them growing. Make them think there's a honey flow on if there's not a honey flow. I'm going to back this up and try to demonstrate the oxalic acid from the other side. Okay, we'll put a towel on the front, shut the entrance up. We got our dipper and our oxalic acid. We'll just measure out 2 grams. Put in our cap. I've already pulled the plug out. It's just a dowel. Sticks in the back. Plug closed up. Last week I got in a hurry and didn't put my respirator on. The oxalic acid, you should always use a respirator. This stuff's pretty wicked. Stick it in the hole. Turn it over. Tap a little bit. That's all there is to it. You see the smoke coming out. Give them a good treatment. basically that's all there is to it. You got to keep your bees treated for mites. You just can't raise bees without it, guys. Can't stress that enough. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications. I appreciate you guys all watching. I'll catch you next week. We'll try to put a box on this and show you a few more tricks.